Okay, minor detail on this Cordoba, the door strikers. This is the one that came out, the original one. I had a piece of plastic in there so I didn't scratch up my paint when I was test fitting doors. And, you know, they're just a little worn out. You can kind of see there that that's crooked where the striker was hitting on it, or the latch, I should say, was hitting on it a little bit. So, and they just didn't look very nice, so I wanted different ones. I get this from Napa. There's the number. It's made by Dorman. It's a Chrysler one. It looks a lot like it, you can tell. I mean, it's kind of shrunk in, but the problem is the diameter of that, the inner shank is too small, and the thing would have just rattled like crazy. So I looked on the shelf and I found one of these. It was in the package. It's that cadmium yellow coating. It looks like a factory one because this one probably, you can see just a little bit of gold color in there, so that probably was from the factory, a similar color to this. This is actually for a General Motors product. There's the part number. And the shaft size is exactly the same. So it works out, there we go, get rid of the glare. So it works out perfect, and I'll show you what it looks like in the car. I've only got the one side done so far. So there it is in the car. You know, I scratched it a little bit right there, so I gotta touch that up. But it's in there, it fits, it works nice, slam shut, and you can see one thing that I got lucky with, the depth. You know, you can see right where the center of the striker latch is grabbing, or the latch is grabbing the striker. Sorry about that. It was right about where it should be. If it's too far back, then this risks hitting part of the door. If it's too far in, well, then your latch part's going to grab here. So even though it says it's for a GM, it fits a Mopar just perfectly fine. So that works for Mopar products, at least in the 70s. Okay, I think this will be the last part for the doors. Obviously, power window stuff. Got a kit for the driver's one, the driver's window, power window. The gear in this one, there's grease in there, wore just enough to the point where I didn't want to put it back in. So I got a whole kit. There's the number. Got it from Napa. I think they're a little under 30 bucks for this whole kit, and it comes with a brand new gear, a bag of grease, this outer piece, a screw and a O-ring, this gear, and then these little round guys, which usually that's the problem when they go bad, because these round ones, they fit right in. You can kind of see that right into that apex, and then this goes in there, and all that does is it kind of gives it a little bit of forgiveness when you max it out one way or the other. That way the motor, it doesn't grind the gears up quite so bad. There's a little bit of forgiveness, and you can get these little guys separate. Again, there's, come on, focus. There's the number, 655-1524. It says it's for a Ford, but they're the same exact ones that Mopar has. They have a whole kit with a new gear and these pieces, but the Ford gear has got a different size hole in the middle, so that won't work. So there's kind of I just got to put it all back together again and throw it in the other door. And I will show you as I walk over here. I have this whole door put together, and I need a new camera bad. This thing does not want to focus. Anyway, but I will open it up and I will show you. So obviously you can see I've got the trim on. The trim is on the top. If you watched the last video, gaskets are in. These roof rail gaskets were in really nice shape. The ones for the doors are pretty good. There was a few spots, you know, there's clips that hold it in. There's a few spots where those were ripped out a little bit. So I pretty much glued the entire thing on in addition to the clips and whatnot. So I've got my new strikers in. This side is all put together. It works fine. I think it's adjusted pretty decent. I guess I'll find out when I start driving down the road if I have any wind noise. One thing I don't have in there yet, which I'm going to wait on the other side, there's these window fuzzies that go right here, and there's a piece of trim that goes across the top too. they'll be in there, and then, because whenever I close the door, I got to put my fingers in there. So otherwise the window flops around too much. So the doors are pretty close to done. Like I say, the other side I still haven't put together yet. And then here's kind of one of the big things, not related to the doors, but NOS tail lights, NOS rear side marker lights. They're in, looks beautiful, and the reflection in the shop makes it almost look like the lights are on right now. I've got those wires in, the taillight harness in, new light bulbs in there. I've checked everything, they all work like they're supposed to. As you can see, I'm in the process of gluing the trunk gasket in, which is kind of a long process, or it's 7 miles of tape. So I'll glue a little chunk, let that good and dry, then I'll glue the next chunk and I'll reuse the tape over, so I don't have to go through quite so much waste if I can help it. And again, this side, you know, same thing. Gaskets are in, they're in nice shape, the trim is on. I haven't put any of the other guts inside the door yet because I want to get the power window part of it hooked up, or put together, I should say, the regulator. What else did I do? I got rear speakers in the back. I found a pair of those that are the right size and shape and everything else, and getting closer. So it looks nice. And this, I'm going to close that so you can kind of get an idea there. So